friend. Okay, him and his wife. Okay, the first 10 star I talked about is the country of India. This other 10 star, he's in the country of Dubai. But him and his wife, they called us a couple of months ago. Okay, and they said, Mel, you know, man, this is, we're on fire. The group, the team. This guy made 2 star. This guy made 5 star. And all this wonderful stuff. But we really wanted to call you to say thank you. And I was like, yeah, you gotta thank me. I mean, look what you're doing. It's amazing. It's all you, you know, this. He said, no. We want to thank you. Because when we signed up in this company in 2009, okay, we had filed bankruptcy and we didn't have the money to join. We put it on our friend's credit card, right? And I remember that first event you were at, I was one of the guys not making any money when you came to Dubai. And I said, I remember that. And he said, you remember that we were frustrated in our business. And the reason they were frustrated at that point, because they were like this. You know what this is? One leg in the binary. So, you know, when one leg takes off and the other leg ain't going, right? Don't worry about it. Take a picture. That's one-legged in the binary. All right, so he was one-legged in the binary, right? And so we went to our first event out there in Dubai. And you know what he did? He didn't even sit down in the audience. He was on the side against the wall like this. And just wanted to hear our story and hear our vision and where's this company really going and blah, 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 blah. Right? Right. You know guys like that? Mm-hmm. You might be one of them. Right? So, one-legged and whatever. And I said, I remember that. Well, at the end of that event, he came up to us and he said, now I get it. And it's kind of like when the company gets in you. That's why it don't matter about the language or whatever. You know, when it gets into your heart and you feel the passion, you can feel the love, and it gets into your mind, you're going to go no matter what. So he said, look, I'm going to someday, very soon, he gave us a specific date, I'm going to cycle 21 times. I'm going to cycle 21 times a day. Right? That's a lot of money. And I said, okay, you know, you got our support. We're just starting the market. Let's do it, whatever. That came true very quickly. I think within the first year or something like that. They skyrocketed. Their commitment went up. Their belief went up. That event changed their life. Right? So here they are, how many years later? 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Almost 5 years later, right? 2014. Calling us up, and this was a few months ago, so it was like Christmas time. Calling us up and saying, thank you. And I said, no, you know, because they're millionaires in this business right now. Because of this compensation plan that you guys have in your hands, yeah, they've changed a lot of lives. They're millionaires themselves and whatever. Okay? But they said thank you because it was our dream. We have one child, beautiful daughter, and we just came back from London. And I was like, London, England, wow. You guys flew out there? They're like, yeah. I said, how was it? Vacation? And they said, no. We went to enroll our daughter into the most expensive private university in London. Wow. And you guys know, London, England, I mean, they got the universities, and the cost is like outrageous. And he said, the reason I want to say thank you is because I remember it was only 5 years ago, we were bankrupt, we put the money on our friend's credit card, we did this, we did that, and now we've changed thousands and thousands of people's lives because of this opportunity. And here we are, we went to London, England to enroll our daughter into the most prestigious, most expensive private university in the world. And he said, the part I want to say thank you about is that was a dream come true for our one and only daughter, right? It was a family dream that 5 years ago I would have never even thought or imagined. Never. How could you? You just filed bankruptcy, you're broke, you can't even put on a few $100 on your own credit card. How could you imagine that your daughter, when she goes to college, would go to the biggest, best private educational facility, right? You couldn't even imagine it. So he said, the best part, Mel? And then he started laughing. I said, tell me, baby. This is what gets me out of bed. Tell me. He said, when we sat down in the finance office, and they said, how are you guys going to do this? How many months? How many years? The payment plans, you know, your credit, their credit, whatever the financing situations are, right? He said, no. His wife pulled out the checkbook from the purse. One check done. Right? So to me, it was like, dang, bro, that is crazy. You wrote one check for the whole thing? Her education is paid for? He said 100% because of this company. I was able to do that. Nothing else. So when I remember him in 2009, when I went out there to that country and him leaning up against the wall like this, skeptical, to see that happen now, just in December when they called us, what do you think gets me out of it? It's nuts. It's crazy. Okay? And it's all different levels and all different things. I mean, you don't have to be a millionaire like him to change your life. Let me tell you this right now. I was at an event in India. This guy, Raj, comes up to me at the break. And this is really important. You guys need to listen to this, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, what you can do when you have this in your hands, the power of what you have in your hands, you have no idea. You have no idea. And he had no idea. He had no idea because life has circumstances. He had no idea. But he came up to the break and he said, Mel, I want to tell you something that I'll never say on stage. I was like, really? Okay. And he says, I want to tell you that I just completed my first year in the business. I was like, congratulations. How did you do? He said, I made $107,000 for the year. I was like, that's pretty good. I said, now you can double it and triple it, next year. He said, no. I'm not trying to impress you that I made $100,000 my first year or $107,000 or whatever. He said, what I want to tell you is that my 13-year-old nephew has cancer, right? And in those countries, health insurance and health care, it's a whole different story, right? You got to have the money. So he says, what I want to share with you is that because of me building this company, and I still have my other job or business or whatever, right? He still has his other job or business, right? So he said, I built this on the side. And on the side, I made an extra $107,000, right? And he says, I took the entire money, the entire $107,000, and I put it to my nephew's cancer treatment. Wow. And then, I'm like, even right now telling you this, like it kind of, but he's got tears in his eyes. I've got kind of, watery eyes listening to this, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then he says, and I'm so happy to tell you this, Mel, is that the treatment was successful. Yeah. I didn't go further into the, conversation, the meeting was starting back up and all sorts of stuff. But just to think that whatever it is, he took that $107,000 and he did something really good with it, and it paid for the treatment, and a 13-year-old, and it helps out. I mean, where can you do that? This was extra money in addition to his other job or whatever he was doing at that time. So it's things like that, and there's so many that we never get to hear about, Small stories, big stories, crazy stories, this and that. I mean, I'll tell you about Arnell, who he works over there, in construction. And over there, they don't work 12-hour days. I mean, Arnell, what was it, like morning to night, 16 hours, in the Dubai heat as a construction worker, and they make them wear these steel boots, right? In that heat. Not an 8-hour day. I mean, 12, 16-hour days with these steel boots. And you know how hot it is? It's hot in Vegas. Add another 30 degrees when it gets hot in Vegas, right? When I went to Dubai, that thing when I was a kid, they said it's so hot you can cook it, you can throw an egg on the cement and cook an egg. You can do that in Dubai. No question. That desert is so hot, you can definitely cook an egg on the cement. Everybody stays inside. But anyway, to him saying that, what, in those heavy boots, and all I remember, and he was making $800 a month to do that. Over here, I don't know what he makes, like 5, 6, 7, 8,000 every week or whatever, It's crazy to see how life can happen. And so, anyway, a couple other pivotal moments I want to share with you. And then I know, we got a lot of other fun stuff to do. Who likes to have fun? Another tip in the business. If you ain't having fun, you ain't doing it right. Seriously. Even when we were making the small checks, we had to make it fun. Yes. Right? Have fun and you'll make money. Because people will be attracted to that fun, right? Right? Okay? All right. I'm looking at all familiar faces. How are you, Mr. Ayala? Pretty good. All right. Good to see you. So, let me tell you this. Another pivotal moment. We're going to go through this quickly. And I'm going to probably miss all kinds of parts of the story, but I want you to just get the idea so you know where we're coming from, where we're going. Okay? In 2002, we were pushed in a situation, okay, where I was the number one, my wife and I, okay, well, how should I kind of share this without covering all the details? I'll skip a couple of pieces here because of lack of time, because I'm looking at the time and I know that we have a bunch of other things and a bunch of other speakers. Are you guys going to hold time cards to throw me off stage or anything like that? All right. Long story short, I got pushed in a situation where they said, Mel, you are going to be the CEO of this company. Okay, Team Effort International. I said, there's no way. I ain't going to do it. You know, I've never been a CEO. I've never owned a business. I've never done this. I've never done that. All these no, 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 no. And they said, no, Mel, you will be perfect. Because people, they love you, they follow you, they feel your passion. You're a superstar distributor, you're this, you're that. I said, that all doesn't make the CEO guy. Because, I have no idea. I'm looking at, Microsoft CEO. I don't know, I'd never done anything like it. Never done anything like it. We got pushed in a situation where they said, no, it's you. And, you get chosen, I guess, on your direction in life, right? And so this happened, that happened, where they started to pull on my heartstrings. And they know how to get me, pull on my heartstrings. So I got pushed in that situation to be the CEO of this company, October 30th of 2002. I could tell you this, is that when I got married, okay, I was 20, she was 18. You know what all the families and relatives and everybody said? 20, 18, 6 months. They gave the marriage 6 months. Right? Okay. Then, in that first year when she got pregnant and we had the baby, they said, this is really bad. And then, when we had no jobs in business, they were like, this ain't gonna work. And then, when we joined this pyramid thing called network marketing, they said, this is really, this ain't gonna work for sure. And then when we joined network marketing, since we were so young, 21 and 19, they're not business people. They don't have to focus. They don't know all those. They're kids. This is definitely. They told me our marriage would work. They told me when we had the baby, no way. They told me when we started network marketing, you can't be successful. You don't have this, you don't have that. And so that's what went in my mind when they told me, you got to be the CEO and run this company. I was like, well, the marriage is going good. I think. The baby's growing up nicely. The network marketing thing worked out. We became multi-millionaires, and there was a bunch of millionaires in our distributorships with our teams. I mean, that kind of worked out. So I said, and I came to the table with those things, everybody betting against us. So when we started the company, guess what they said? This ain't gonna work. He's never owned a network marketing company before. Where are the board of directors? Where are the investors? Where's the consultants that know all this mumbo-jumbo of network marketing? Where's all the accountants? Where's all the attorneys? Where's this? Where's this? Where's this? Where's this? This ain't gonna last 6 months. Well, I can tell you that a few months ago we celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary. Our daughter just turned 24, and we waited a long time, and we have our son who just turned 12. His name's Austin. Okay, and then we have baby Gigi that just turned 5 years old. And so it's great. When we go to the restaurant, we've got small, medium, large, but and then the best part is one wife. So it's kind of. So if you look at our 5-year-old, 12-year-old, 24-year-old, we kind of have this family planning thing, a baby each decade, right? So we just started a new decade. What do you think, eh? Got a new decade going on? You see her, she's going to run out the door. Get away from me! So the mentality is, I feel like we're just getting started. We got baby Gigi, we got Austin, we got Hema, and I'll tell you the kids, because they're all 3 different generational age differences in a sense, because we got the 24-year-old that's super cool entering law school, but she still acts like a teenager in many aspects, right? We got the 12-year-old boy who's in baseball, basketball, karate, soccer, blah, blah, blah. My dad knows even better because he takes them everywhere to all these different functions and all that. And then we got baby Gigi, who definitely runs the entire house. She's the boss. She's the boss. Baby Gigi's the boss. So, I mean, you can imagine what keeps us busy, not so much the company. It's the family atmosphere of all these different generations of the baby maker, my one wife that I've had. Baby each decade. So, where was I going, Terry?
Yeah, you lost.
I lost you too. Lost myself there, lost you. All right, I'm talking about the company. All right, so.
CEO. You became CEO.
My wedding anniversary, 25th wedding anniversary. That's what I was talking about. Okay. So, that's what went through my mind. Is that, yeah, they're saying this ain't going to work and the company's not going to last 6 months and all this other stuff. Well, I'm happy to say this. Bittersweet happy. Because I'll tell you what, it was the hardest thing we ever did. But we didn't have all those things they thought that we needed to be a successful company. But what we did have, and I knew as a distributor, top 1%. Let me tell you, because this is why you want to listen to the distributor parts of this whole conversation, okay? Is because if you're a basketball player and Michael Jordan's going to teach you a jump shot, you're going to pay attention. Right? Okay? If you're a brain surgeon and the top brain surgeon is going to spend some time with you, you're going to pay attention. Right? Okay? As a network marketer, and sometimes it's difficult for me to say this, but I'm telling you right now, okay, I've been doing this full-time 24 years. Pay attention. Pay attention, okay? Because this is it. So,
The CEO wedding anniversary.
okay, so as we started the company, and this is the hardest part, this is what I was going to tell you, the hardest part, was somehow, some way, we knew that if we put our heart and put our shoes in the distributors, and I knew how to do that because I was a distributor, right? And we designed the compensation plan. When Amy and I sat down with the compensation plan, you know what we said? What would be the best way for our team to win? For the part-timers to get some checks to get their attention. Money motivates. You'd go to the best Saturday training to get motivated, but you know what really motivates? Check in the mail, right? Yeah. And then we looked at how can we create the long-term residual income for the distributors. That's how the comp plan came out, okay? That's why it's so ridiculous. No matter what anybody says, I could be the biased CEO saying this is the hottest, highest paying comp plan in the entire industry, no question about it. Get out a pen, get out a paper, get out a calculator, figure it out yourself. Okay, nobody pays like this. It's crazy, and that's what you have in your hands. So that's how we created the comp plan. The product, same thing. You know what the products were? What would people say wow to? What would create conversation? Because I knew as a network marketing distributor that once you create the conversation, that moves the product and the business and everything else. What do people say wow? The wow factor. Today with 10, you've got the wow factor of the spray. People haven't heard about that. They're like, wow. And they want to talk about it. Wow. Okay? So that's how we created all of that. But putting our heart and mind in the distributor's shoes was easy because we were distributors. And we run that company by distributors, for distributors from the beginning in 2002. Okay? So it's not the board of directors guy. It's not the investor with a business transaction. It's not these guys that are trying to make a stock market play. Okay? It's a family business that's owned by me, my wife, and my father. That's it. Okay? And they said that would never work in 2002. Somehow, some way, it was really hard, but we made our 1-year anniversary. Do you think we celebrated?
Yeah.
95% of companies that start never make it that far. You know the deal. In and out, look all pretty. They don't make it. We celebrate our 1-year anniversary. Somehow, we made it. On our chin, 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 we made it. But here's what's really cool. We didn't miss a check in 2003. We paid every Wednesday. Somehow, some way. And it was a lot of struggles, a lot of learning lessons. It was like, wow, now I know what it means to run a network marketing company. Oh my gosh. I didn't know what I was getting into. This is the hardest thing we've ever done. And then, the same principles. Putting our heart and mind in the right place. And the most important part is not the product, not the compensation plan, not the company. The greatest asset, the leaders, the distributors. Right? And we knew that. We got that. And that's what a lot of these companies miss. They don't know that the greatest asset, without the right leadership and the right distributors, you ain't going nowhere. No matter how good your product. I've seen the best product. I've seen Bill Gates' cousin start a company with billions of dollars. I've seen all that go out of business. Because all that doesn't matter. Right? So you have all this cool stuff, but you have to have something behind it. And now, you know, that's the position we're in right now in our first year with 10, looking for the leadership. Who is the leadership? So, by knowing that the number one place the money should go, and you can recognize this from our company. It's not in the big fancy titles and pay this corporate dude $300,000 to fly around and do this and that and whatever. Not get this giant building and buy the whole real estate and waste it. No. You know where the money needs to go?
Right here.
Right? Where would you rather have? So that's why the other guys can't compete with this compensation plan. You know why? You know why they can't compete with this compensation plan? Because if they pay out what we pay out, that fancy giant building they just bought, they got to pay for that. That dude they just hired to pay $400,000 for the year to do this and that, they got to pay him and her and this and that. We put it in the comp plan. We put it in the product. We put it right back to you. So check this out. Somehow, some way, it got even harder. I'm going to tell you this right now. Without giving all these stories, I could go 5 hours. Everything that you could imagine that could happen to a company, happened to this company. We got beat down. We got knocked down. They stole from us. They came at us. They attacked us. This happened, that happened, all the second year. Beat down. Right? We skinned our knees and broke our knees. Right? But I've always known as a distributor, and I work with my team, fall down 7 times, but get up 8. Get up 8. Get up 8. We got up, stayed up. Somehow, some way, chinny chin chin. 2-year anniversary. And it's not 95%. At that point, 99% do not make it to the 2-year. To the 2-year. Do we celebrate? Heck yeah! Oh my day! And it was like, how do you go on? It was kind of like when we made that $16 distributor check. You have a choice. Right? Fork in the road. I didn't quit on my marriage. I didn't quit on my kids. I didn't quit network marketing. I wasn't about to quit. Hardest thing, the biggest lessons, people stealing, beating us, knocking us down, attacking us, all these things come from all different directions, right? Okay? But in business and your life, you know this. It ain't always like that. Right? It's up and down. The peaks and the valleys, right? The character is not born in the valley when you're just all Mr. Cool. Character is in that, not at the peak, but down there, right? And what you do at that moment to rise back up, to take it to the next peak. Okay? We made it to our 3rd year. 4th year. 4th year. Here was the big one. 5 years. We were like, now this is a celebration. Right? And then here's what we did, something crazy. We said, Dad, you're not busy enough. Because we had a very large business in Europe, right? A lot of distributors in Europe. And we just went there for events and stuff like that. But then the Europeans knew people in Asia, right? And so there was this one country that has 300 million people middle class. And I was like, wow, that's an opportunity. Amway has done very well there. I said, wow, that's an opportunity. People had some contacts and some leaders and this and that. And we said, we need to go to that market. But nobody wanted to join. You know why they didn't want to join? They didn't trust us. Because there are a bunch of companies that came into that country of India, from Malaysia, from Singapore, from everywhere, that had ripped people off. They came in, blah, 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 stole the money, shut down, went back to Malaysia, back to Singapore, back here, back there, whatever. So they didn't trust it. They didn't trust it, this. So the only way that we were able to build trust is we came up with a bright idea. Hey, Dad. Let's send you over there. Let's send you over there, right? And open an office, and you sit there, you live there, you bond with them, you show them that we're for real, that they can trust us, that we're here to stay, blah, blah, blah. He's like, wait a minute. I might look kind of Indian, but I was born in Hong Kong. I was raised with the Chinese in Hong Kong. I speak better Cantonese than any kind of Indian or English or anything else, right? He says, I'm from Hong Kong. I was born there, I was raised there. And then he says, and then my dad kicked me out of Hong Kong when I was 20 and sent me to school in California and at Cal Berkeley. That's a good school. So since then, after he graduated from the University of California, Berkeley, he got into the restaurant business, and he's been in California ever since. So he's like, what do I know about India? You might see a little brown here and this and that, but I'm a Chinese dude who went to America, and I've been living there. I'm an American. I went to Cal Berkeley since I was 20. I've been in this country in the United States, living a very nice lifestyle in California. Thank you very much. So he said, come on, Dad. They need to see that we're for real. We convinced him to go out there. He went out there, made a commitment to be there. After the first month, we were talking on the phone back and forth, he was like, you hate me. You sent me here to get back at me, to punish me. This is, by far, the worst place ever to live. This is horrible. The food, the dirt, the this, the that, the blah, 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 blah. He hated it. He was like, hey, can I get out of here now? This is not why I worked so hard for 40 years to be trying to retire over here in the dust and the smog and the pollution and the cows walking across the street and, you know, this and this and this and this and this and this. He's like, this is the worst thing you could ever do to me. Dad, we're trying to build a business. Hang in there one more month. Just give it another 30 days. He stayed. 30 more days went by. He stayed. 6 months into this. All right, Dad, we've got some sales in India now. Things are moving along. You can come home. He's like, home? This is my home. I love this place. I love it here. He said, man, the people, the food, I love it here. This is the best place. He says, when I wake up in the morning, they bring me tea without me even asking. They've got all these servants that cater to me, give me my haircut, shampoo, my this. He said, this is paradise. Paradise. You want me to come home? This is home. So he stayed in India. Years went by. Then from that first few days of, years went by. And from there, of course, we opened in Dubai and Singapore and opened up in Thailand and Philippines and Southeast Asia. Became a very strong presence for this company. And I can tell you this, here's a very good fact for you to know, so you can be proud of this compensation plan, because that's all you need to know about our current company that's going on 11 years. We just celebrated our 11th birthday, by the way. And thanks, Dad. We made that for you. Give my dad a hand. Because here's the deal. By him staying in there in a country that he had never lived in and never been a part of, and making that commitment, it's changed thousands of lives. Thousands of lives. And now, they trust us like anything out there, right? Okay? Because their kids have been fed. Their families have been fed. They've gone, put their kids through school. They've bought them dream homes. They've done everything in that country that they could not think possible because of this company, okay? And then they did the same thing when they went to Dubai and the Philippines and everything else. So it's been an amazing thing. But here's the fact that you want to understand, okay? Through that commitment, today, 2014, I can tell you this fact. We are the largest, most successful communications product network marketing company in all of Asia. There's nobody that is bigger than us in communications of network marketing. Nobody with communications product. Nobody. Okay? The biggest, most successful communications network marketing company. There's companies out there that have vitamins that are bigger than us, sure. You know, that have juice bottles that are bigger than us, sure. But as far as communications, so many companies have tried it, nothing. Either low-level sales or they went out of business. To try to compete with us in Asia and haven't had nothing. Okay? And because it's built upon trust out there. So I'm very proud of that. And that's the marketing plan that you have, is the largest, most successful communications network marketing company in all of Asia. That comp plan that's changed thousands and thousands of lives is now starting with TEN, 10, right? Okay? That's hot. That's very hot. So, we made it to our 6th year anniversary and our 7th year anniversary, right? Our 8th year, 9th year, 10th year. We just celebrated October 30th. We opened our doors October 30th, 2002. October 30th, 2011, or 2013, we just celebrated 11 years, okay? So here's the best part of the story. We're not the biggest network marketing company. We're not the fastest growing network marketing company. We're not this, we're not that, we're da-da-da-da-da-da. I can say all these wonderful things, okay? What I can tell you this is we gauge our success by the amount of people's lives that we change, okay? Not paying back the investor guys because we don't have any, not making the board of directors happy because we don't have any, not buying the next big building. That's not what we do. Okay? We gauge our success with the next life-changing story. And here's a fact. In 11 years, we started in 2002 with Wednesday being payday. Guess in 2003, there were 52 weeks approximately. Guess what happened every Wednesday in 2003? Everybody got paid. 2004, even though it was hard, we never missed. Never late. Everybody got paid. 2005, 52 weeks, everybody got paid on Wednesday. 2006, everybody got paid. 2007, never missed it. 8, 9, 10, 2011, okay, which was one of our biggest years. 2012 was just a little bit bigger. 2013, last year, we paid 52 Wednesdays, never missed, and it was our biggest, most successful financial year yet. Okay? And when I share that with you, all that means that we changed more lives than we did the previous year. That's it. More lives than we did the previous year. That's the bottom line. Okay? I'm not here to compete with this company, that company, or their sales and stuff. I just know that every year we've grown a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. More lives change, more lives change, more lives change. It's a recipe. Okay? A family-run business that everybody told me wouldn't work. You can tell me whatever you want right now, because I'm in a position of strength. 11 years later, the family recipe works. No question about it. There's no theory here. There's no theory. But you can just say, okay, what did we do last year? What did we do in 2012? What did we do in 2011? Same recipe, Wednesday payday, Wednesday payday, Wednesday payday. More lives change, more success stories, this. And the people that pay attention work really, really hard. Write this down. This takes hard work. This takes hard work, no question about it. Okay? Are you willing to work harder for yourself than you are for somebody else? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Work harder for yourself than you work for anybody, okay? And if you work hard right now at the right time, we got an 18-month window with 10. Let me tell you about that right now. Where we are ahead of the game. We are ahead of the game. Now, I'm going to go through that this afternoon on some specific bullet points on what you want to take advantage of here right now. But you have this window where there is no other game in town. Check this product out right here, okay? There's a few companies that have it somewhere in their shopping cart, but nobody is running fast forward at the forefront and gaining ground and moving forward with this new technology. Okay? So here's your future. 11 years. Guess what we're using for 10? The same commission software that's proven to pay every Wednesday. Guess what else we're using? The same pay plans that's created a bunch of part-timers, full-timers, big-timers, and millionaires already with this comp plan, right? It's just with the other communications product, right? So you're using that. Same employees, right? We have 4 global offices around the world. Same employees, same infrastructure. All that foundation is what you get with this brand new baby ground floor company called 10. Now here's the vision. We've done some amazing things through the ups and downs and the hard work of 11 years. Okay? Hundreds of thousands of people have joined the company. and amazing things have happened. The nutrition and wellness industry is even larger. So now as we continue with communications, our communications product had its best year last year, right? And it's going to be even bigger in 2014. I already know that. The leadership is growing. But on this side, the same comp plan and company that has nutrition, okay, can you imagine the next 11 years? It will dwarf what we've done, being the most successful, largest communications company in Asia. It will dwarf that because of the size of nutrition and wellness as a market potential. It's a fact. The top companies in network marketing are all health, nutrition, and wellness for a reason. Now that we're in that game, in that business, with this proven story and this compensation plan, hello, opportunity. Okay? So guess what's going to happen? 2014 is 10's first year. First calendar year. First January to December is 2014. Okay? When we started 2002, 2003 was our first year. 10 is going to do even bigger than what we did in 2003. Right? Because of the industry size, because of the market dynamics, and because everything Mel said in 2003 was theory. Who is this dude? He's just $1 million distributor that thinks he's going to run a company. How do we know that next Wednesday, they're not going to go out of business? How do we know that they know how to take in credit cards and merchant accounts and payment systems? How do we know that the owners aren't going to, the Cayman Islands with all the cash? How do we know that they know how to hire an employee? How do we know? But they built a business with all those question marks in 2003. You don't have those question marks in 2014. So you've got a bigger market, bigger industry, nutrition versus communications, and you've got where they had to believe Mel Gill in the front of the stage. You ain't got to believe nothing. Just look at the facts of 11 years, right? That's what you need to believe. So the bottom line, here's what you really need to believe in. Yourself. And are you a winner? Okay? Because right now, that's where we're leaning on, is who are you, and are you stepping up? Are you a winner? Do you have the energy? Do you have the commitment? Because that's what it's going to take. Do you have the focus? Do you have your belief level in the right place? And you might not have any of those things right now, but at the end of the day, I'm hoping and praying you do. Because you have a blessing in your hands right now. Whether you know it or not, right? And many of you don't know. Because you've seen so many opportunities, so many companies, and so many this and that, and all kinds of stuff, and that's what gets us jaded here in America, right? I mean, I know, and you have all of that, but at the end of the day, if you really understand, hey, okay, I got this blessing, and it's what I do with it. Okay? I can do nothing, or I can harness it, focus, right? Pay attention to the trainers today, pay attention to everything being said, and make a commitment to say, you know what? I've been messing around with this thing, spraying around for a little while. I was just kind of joking around, messing around. Now, I've been hanging out here, just spray, doing this and that. Haven't really figured it out. Got a $150 cycle check somewhere here or there. I don't know, right? But at the end of this day, you'll be like, step up. Right? And when that happens right there, and trust me, I went to 8 different countries last year traveling, and I never fell down yet. So. And if I do, what am I going to do? Right! Yeah, it might happen at one of these events, but we'll get right back up. So, I want to do the best part of the event right now. What time is it right now?
12:26.
All right, yes, I'm on California time. 8 countries last year. I'm always doing the time thing. What time is it? All right. We're going to do this fast and fun, okay? But I'm telling you right now, product fantastic, company, comp plan, this, that, Mel, Amy, whatever. This is a team. This doesn't happen because of me. This doesn't happen because of me or just Amy or just my dad. It's who we hang around. It's the team, okay? How many people met Robert Hicken today? Okay? I mean, he's a gem because we hang around and attract a gem right there, right? Okay? Hang around those people. How many people saw Pastor Denise up here, right? Pastor Dale, okay? Memo. I mean, real people, genuine people. This is what makes this thing work. This is what makes it all work. And so I'm telling you right now, the most important part for us is the team, and if we can recognize the team, and we did an over-the-top promotion, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay? It's called the Vegas Blitz promotion. In fact, we've never done that in the history of 11 years. Okay? Because if you look at the comp plan, and you do the math, you're like, they can't afford that bonus. And you're right. It was not affordable. It was over. You know what our accountant said? This ain't gonna work. You can't do this. Those are bad numbers. You're gonna pay what on top of what? On top of the comp plan? No. Okay. But we went ahead and did it. Because you know how many times they told me this, right? How many times they told me that, right? All right. So we did an over-the-top promotion. What I want to do right now is bring up Amy Gill. Come on up. Give her a hand. And some music. Get some music going.